Yeah. So that's what this guy does. He puts on a wig, and the whole Meatloaf band has to go out there in Halloween costumes and pretend it's the 70s. And so he's kind of like reenacting the video. You remember the famous video of him in the tuxedo?
Oh, of course. Who could forget?
Yeah, it was just a moment. And they reenact that. And then there's one point because they can't do the kissing. It's just too disgusting.
Yeah.
Where he has to just put his arm around her, and they both have to stand there and look at the screen. It's horrendous.
Oh, wow.
That's what your idea of compromising and making this palatable to critics is?
Maybe that's why he's not coming on the show today, because the reviews are just getting really bad, and he's embarrassed.
Well, that was the live show. I don't even know what the
knows?
reviews of the documentary are. But he was a real dick to the guys who were filming him. It was really I had a bunch of questions for him. I was so annoyed.
Yeah.
Questions.
I see a whole list of questions for Meatloaf, Jimmy.
Yes.
What's on that sheet?
Well, I may have allowed it to annoy me a little bit, so forgive me.
Okay.
But I felt, why can't I ask my Meatloaf questions?
Yeah.
I had 10 questions I was going to ask Meatloaf, but I amended them slightly when my mood altered.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The original one question was it uncomfortable being filmed? You seem to have a terse relationship with the camera crew. I decided I'd change that a little bit. Why were you such an incredible douche to the poor slob who drew the short straw and got stuck filming you? That might have been my bitterness creeping in. I don't know. Yeah. The next question was, I was amazed at how hands-on you were with the stage production. Has experience taught you that the only way to get things done is to pay close attention to every detail?
Well, very nice. That's a good question.
Yeah. I kind of amended it, though. What bothers you more? The fact that you're a monumentally charmless control freak, or the fact that all your attention and focus adds up to mediocrity? And this is the thing, 'cause this is kind of charming. He goes on stage with a jersey of the local sports team. Every time he goes in every city you played, I noticed you wore the jersey of the local team. You a big sports fan? That was the question he was going to get. And 3A would be, have you always resorted to such groveling, wormy tactics to win over an audience, or just since you lost your voice?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
What a dick. I love it.
It's just the original questions.
Jimmy calls me yesterday as I'm outside. We're a weird show, man. I'm outside Elliot Spitzer's apartment, part of the media frenzy, just taking it all in. My phone's ringing, and it's Jimmy. I'm like, hey, Jimmy, what's up? He's like, we have to just beat the hell out of Meatloaf tomorrow on our show. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. No, you don't understand. I'm writing questions. I'm ready for this one.
I was so irritated.
It got 1 star, by the way, this In Search of Paradise.
Good. That was generous. And there's one scene where Meatloaf is looking, because what he does is he's very ritualistic, as a lot of artists are.
Sure.
And he goes over the night before's performance, like on the CD, and he listens to it, and I guess that tells him what he did right and wrong. You know, it's a whole thing with this artist. But apparently in the hotels, one of the maids accidentally threw out the CDs. Oh, God.
Oh, well.
Talk about the tension building. So I wanted to say, in one of the hotels, the maids were cleaning your room and threw out a recording of the previous night's concert.
Wow.
Were you able to recover that CD at all? Because I'd like to know.
A little mystery, nice.
A little mystery.
Yeah.
I again, maybe bitterness crept in. 4A. Did it ever occur to you that the maid who threw out the CD did so after listening to it for 5 minutes? Now, this is the problem with the concert, is that the acting out of Paradise by the Dashboard Lights, the critics were killing him for it. So I said, many critics felt like the acting out of Paradise by the Dashboard Lights was inappropriate due to the age difference between you and the girl. Did you get any sense of that from the audience? Which I think is a legit question.
Course, sure.
5A. Your acted-out rendition of Paradise by the Dashboard Lights was the most embarrassing, campy piece of garbage I've ever seen. Not to mention, you look like a bloated suburban dad trying to recapture his youth while making one of his daughter's friends uncomfortable. The critics justifiably crucified you for this. Comment?
Comment?
Jimmy, you got to do more writing for the Opie and Anthony show. This is wonderful.
Well, and this is one I've always been curious about, number 7.
Right.
Now, I've heard that you got your name because your father called you meat as a derogatory reference to your weight, and years later, one of your coaches called you Loaf. Now, is that true, Or have I been spending a little too much time around the rumor mill?
Regular joke question, kind of.
I felt like shortening that in my pithy mood. Is it true that people call you Meatloaf because you've only written 3 good songs since 1974?
I love
I felt that was just a little easier.
Yeah.
Just a couple more. There's a montage of you complaining about all your... Meatloaf, this is kind of charming. He's got like a lot of ailments and things that drive him, bad.
Yeah.
Sure. And there's a montage of him complaining. So I wanted to ask him, there's a montage of you complaining about all your ailments. Have you always been a bit of a hypochondriac? I'm hoping that wouldn't be a bit much for him. And then I amended that to, I always knew you were fat, but I never realized you were such a whiny jerk-off. Does that tend to annoy everyone around you and cause them to hate your guts? And 2 more for the meat. I don't want to give it away, but to silence the critics, you came up with a pretty ingenious way to perform Paradise by the Dashboard Lights that would be comfortable for the critics and yet enjoyable for your audience. Did you find yourself getting more favorable reviews after that?
Nice. Yeah, sure.
9A. Since you apparently have the artistic integrity of a child pornographer, you allowed a few bad reviews to force you to change your douchey presentation of a song we're all tired of anyway. So you made the band dress in 1970s clothes while you humiliated yourself by putting on a girl's wig and a tuxedo so you'd look less like a pederast and more like you were paying tribute to a 30-year-old music video. Did this blind the critics to the awfulness of you acting out this song and garner you good reviews? Or do they continue bashing you for not only being campy, but for being a sellout whore as well? That was a little wordy, but
effective.
Yeah, but we get the point.
And the last one.
All right.
Number 10, a real sexy part of your stage show is when you get to kiss the lovely Aspen Miller. She's the girl.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Va-va-voom. Despite the age difference, any sparks flying between you two?
Oh, okay.
And how many times did Aspen Miller threaten to walk off the tour unless you doubled her salary? And after one of your big kissing scenes, did you ever notice her backstage crying and scrubbing her mouth out with a toilet brush? Just a few questions I'd like to ask the meat.
I wish he would have
look at the picture.
Shown up.
Yeah, look at the picture of him.
Oh, my God.
In his dad jersey.
Like Dad going to the high school football game to root on his son. And Dad is flirting with the cheerleader.
Just with that.
The underage cheerleader.
With that stupid. He looks like every radio sports guy.
Yeah. And he's got to stand there and sing, and we were barely 17, and we were barely dressed.
Yeah.
And she looks 17.
Well, she's barely 17, and he's barely holding on to the 50s.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's like 57 years old.
Is he 57? Hey, we got to get that picture up on onaradio.com because it is downright creepy. Hey, John from Virginia writes, guys, try to find the audio Meatloaf performing I'll Do Anything for Love on the Today Show. It's horrendous. And then Stephen S. from Bayshore, what happened between the booking of Meatloaf? Hold on, I lost him. What happened between booking Meatloaf and today? 3 words. Baby.Diaper.Mustache.
Really?
Nah, I think that he just probably wants to stay in bed and doesn't want to get up. And his managers, instead, I'm sure they know about what's happening and the fact that he was promoted all day or for a week and he's still douching us.
Yeah.
And again, it's the PR firm. I gave you the names. Maybe some of you know those people. I don't know what happened.
Right.
But if any of you have dealt with them, maybe you could ask them what's going on. I have no idea.
That is the creepiest picture.
Yeah, we'll get this up.
It looks like Tom Arnold.
Yeah.
It's like a big fat Tom Arnold just singing with a girl who needs a gig. She's really attractive, but watching them, like their little groping, it's like he's using it as an excuse, it looks like, just to kind of put his hands on a younger woman so his wife doesn't smash him in the face. It's really uncomfortable.
Who's singing backup for them? Chris Hansen? Should be.
It is really creepy, and one star is a gift.
Very good, Jimmy. We were ready for the Meatloaf interview today, too. We had all sorts of production we did, and we're actually like working on this radio show again.
Are we?
It's quite terrific, yeah.
We should, because we do go into the production studio.
Yeah.
And we promote the guests.
Yes.
That are going to show up, and a lot of times they haven't shown up.
Yeah.
So we should just start promoting huge stars.
Sure.
That won't show up.
That's a very good idea.
I mean, why not? Hey, catch the Opie and Anthony show tomorrow when we have whoever.
I'm hearing tomorrow we got Barack Obama. All you have to do is say, I'm hearing.
I'm hearing. Yeah. Word is...
Word on the street.
Yeah. Ugh!
Oh, my God. They're kissing, Jimmy.
This is so bad. Look at the size of his head compared to her.
It looks like a wildebeest kissing a hot chick. It's uncomfortable.
It is.
Why is Tim Sabian kissing that young girl?
Oh, no.
A little inside, but a few people out there are laughing.
It's uncomfortable. If he had if he was an artist, he would have made it, because it is extraordinarily campy.
Yeah.
And you can't watch it without going, ugh. He would have had like a big monster chasing him around and made it funny instead of vainly attempting to capture some sex appeal or some kind of
30
relevance.
years ago.
Yeah. And for Meatloaf, talking about this scene that we're grossed out by, we did a little something with it for our big Meatloaf interview today.
Here he comes. Squeeze play is going to be close. Here's the throw. Here's the play in the face. Holy cow, I think he's going to make it.
Stop right there. I gotta know right now. Before we go any further, do you love me? Will you love me forever? Do you need me? Will you never leave me? Will you make me so happy for the rest of my life? Will you take me away and will you make me your wife? Do you love me? Will you love me forever? Do you need me? Will you never leave me? Will you make me so happy for the rest of my life? Will you take me away and will you make me your wife? I gotta know right now. Before we go any further, do you love me? Will you love me forever?
Let me sleep on it. Baby, baby, let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it, and I'll give you my answer in the morning. Let me sleep on it. Baby, baby, let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it. I'll give you my answer in the morning. Let me sleep on it. Baby, baby, let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it. I'll give you my answer in the morning.
That's actually sexier and less creepy than what he did in the movie.
Yeah.
Will you love me forever? Do you need me? Will you never leave me? Will you make me so happy for the rest of my life? Will you take me away and will you make me your wife? I gotta know right now. Before we go any further, do you love me? Will you love me forever? What's it gonna be, boy? Come on! I can wait all night. What's it gonna be, boy? Yes or no? What's it gonna be, boy? Yes or no?
Let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it. You answer in the morning.
I gotta know right now, do you love me? Will you love me forever? Do you need me? Will you never leave me? Will you make me so happy for the rest of my life? Will you take me away and will you make me your wife? I gotta know right now. Before we go any further, do you love me and will you love me forever?
Goodness gracious! Of all the dramatic things I've ever seen.
Let me sleep on it.
Will you love me forever?
I couldn't take it any longer. Lord, I was crazed. And then the feeling came upon me like a tidal wave. I started swearing to my God and on my mother's grave that I would love you till the end of time. I swore that I would love you till the end of time. So now I'm praying for the end of time.
No sense
hurry
of
up and arrive.
music.
Because if I gotta spend another minute with you, I don't think I can really survive. I'll never break my promise or forget my vows, but God only knows I can do it right now. Praying to the end of time, all I can do. Praying for the end of time, I can end my time with you. Going far
It never
away.
felt so good, it never felt so right, and we're all glowing like the metal on the edge of a knife. It never felt so good, it never felt so right, and we're all glowing like the metal on the edge of a knife. It never felt so good, it never felt so right, and we're all glowing like the metal on the edge of a knife. It never felt so good, it never felt so right, and we're all glowing like the metal on the edge of a knife.
So much better than it was today.
All right, let me do it again.
Again? What? Did he think he was going to get a better take?
I don't know. I love the enthusiasm of Close to the Camera. He jumps right into his role. Steve, though.
Oh, and like the battle on the edge of a knife.
We had him do another one. This one's a lot shorter, but you know that wolf thing that Meatloaf. I forgot the name of the song, but I guess he was trying to get another Paradise by the Dashboard Lights thing.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had the boys do the beginning of that. This is a lot shorter.
On a hot summer night, would you offer your throat to the wolf with the red roses?
Will he offer me his mouth?
Yes.
Will he offer me his teeth?
Yes.
Will he offer me his jaw?
Yes.
Will he offer me his hunger?
Yes.
Again, will he offer me his hunger?
Yes.
And does he love me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. On a hot summer night, would you offer your throat to the wolf with the red roses?
Yes.
I bet you say that to all the boys.
That's all you need.
God.
How awful is that?
Yeah, it bugs me. It's like we're just a business filled with liars. Like, no one just tells you straight up. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Liars.
The publicists are the worst. The PR people, the worst.
Yeah.
They can't be up because what they are, a lot of times, they're kind of, they're fringe players in the sense that they're not talent. Mm-hmm. So they have to be a part of it somehow. So they just kind of, leech and bloodsuck from the out.
And they want the power, I think, that the actual celebrity has.
Oh.
They want some kind of power in dictating what they do, who they talk to. So then they just, lie. Bunch of liars.
It really is irritating.